What's going on, everybody? Ryan Lutz here at the 2019 Psycho Nitro Blast. We're at staging. This is where our cars will be staged. Most people will have headsets on because they're not going to be able to hear with all the nitros running. Probably 18, 20 cars running at a time. It's Psycho, it's Nitro. It's going to be a blast. All right, as we start off on our track walk here, we got the front straightaway. And this year, it's not the full length. So we're not going to blow up some engines. I don't get to stretch out my legs on this one, but that'll be all right. The only time you can actually go straight is this race has something unique called a joker lane. If you've watched motocross, they use that from time to time. But here's how it works. So we have the straightaway here, and they've added a little jump here. If you actually watch their original video, this was a straight shot right here. But they realized that people come out of pit lane and are crossing, and somebody decides to take the joker lane, there could be a major crash right here. So what they've done is they put a ramp here, and so if people are taking the joker lane, the theory is hopefully they will jump over anybody coming out of pit lane and take in the normal lane. But you can only take that once every 10 minutes, the joker lane that is. So most of the time people are going to be coming up to this, throwing on the binders, and starting to hook this corner here to do this double. So this is going to be a fun one. This is going to be definitely one that we're going to be whipping a little bit. I can see cars, we're going to be trying to stay tight here, and then you're going to be jumping kind of at an angle, and you're going to be trying to turn the wheels a little bit to the left to get the car to dip down, and then turn back right maybe for a second to kind of level it back out, but then be turning left as you land, hopefully, a little bit sideways, right on that downside, and start into this perilous mogul section. Now there is 20 bumps here. I've counted them all. At least 20 bumps with the white tips to them. There's a little bit more roughness to it than that. Now they've made the inside line the most difficult. Probably a good 2 feet, 3 feet in between each little one here. And they're definitely bigger than what they look like from up high at my vantage point. So I really think the line is going to be out somewhere towards the middle. And this is all speculation at this point, but I say we're going to be landing mid to inside here and trying to cut this gap here, but be slow enough because if I could toss you into that one, it could get pretty gnarly here. It's going to be interesting to see what line we end up taking. Or actually what could actually be good, now that I'm looking at it, is kind of taking this inside one, but bleeding out. And then trying to go for this middle lane here, if we can hit it. Try to straddle these. It's going to be hard to see from up there, especially if you're on that side of the driver's stand. This is going to be far away. A lot of people might be trying to stand over here for this reason. But we got the inside or the outside. Of course, by going out there, you always run the risk of somebody being able to be inside of you on these upcoming corners. But the outside is the easiest, so it will be interesting to see what turns out to be the easiest. Now, it gets kind of steep right here. I mean, cars, it's going to be interesting to see how we all manage this. But it's just kind of messy. And this could be a big time make or break section on this track. But definitely when you're able to take that joker lane, that's easily going to shave off probably 5, 6, 7 seconds to do all this. But once again, once per qualifier and then once per 10 minutes in the mains. So after you come out of that crazy section, you get a little bit of a break with a high speed, fast sweeper. And it's going to be full noodle. Hopefully your car, you might have to go up in the diffs a little bit, keep the front end from ballooning. Yeah, we'll see. But try to keep traction, staying tight, keeping the speed. But you don't want your front diff to be too light because if you're ballooning that inside tire, you're basically scrubbing speed there, losing speed. So we start to go up an incline here. And it's just a drop down. I'm sure the cars will be going fast enough to will actually be like digging in here. I can see ruts developing here in the future, just from noses digging in. But then we got about a 160 degree corner back to a all dirt double. Not many all dirt jumps here this year, thank goodness. We got the wood back, and then into an off camber corner. Kind of see it if I get down low. So if you're watching that video and you can't see why people are kind of going really wide here, you're like, why aren't they on the inside? That could be why. We have a nice off camber here. Then we hit our first wood ramp, low fast they call it. Definitely have to keep some speed on that to clear this, I believe. But nice smooth landing. And you're gonna wanna stay tight. And we got the wall, it is back, thank goodness. Psycho Nitro is not the same without the wall. So I can see us coming in here. And this year, at the moment, they have this tire stack pretty high. A lot of years they bring it down to like the 3 or 4, maybe 5 section. We'll see if they leave it this high the whole time. That'll be interesting, but you definitely don't want to be too tight because then you go up and you can't get your car to transition over. So you really want to be middle, the 3/4, and start your angle at this. And then as soon as you kind of apex up the top, then get your sharp cornering to come back down. And you can kind of see the angle of the jump here. Yeah, it's a pretty smooth ramp leading up to it. Then you don't hit that flat until those last 2 tires. So it's really, your car hits this point, it starts to spring off a little bit. So if you don't have enough trajectory to the right, it kind of just dies here and falls back down on the tires, or falls back down before the tires, and then you're stuck. So you really want to make sure you're coming at it a little bit further out and get a nice arc at it. That looks like a fun jump to full wood right there, doesn't it? Woohoo! Maybe by the end of the weekend we'll be doing that. All right, so try to get that transition just right. Come off of it right down that middle section and start hugging here for another low fast. So this is gonna be just a pipe hugger here. Full wood, landing out about 1/4 of the way. 1/4 inside, that way you can get the nice apex on this upcoming corner. And we'll back up here. And we got a nice steep double here. Not too much of an angle at this one either. It's close to 45. It's got a little bit of an angle. So not much of a run up to it though. So we'll definitely just be doubling it. But a nice smooth transition by Bobby at Trackmasters into an uphill little table here. See the elevation on that. So you're gonna wanna make sure you don't get up top and hit your brakes too late and have only front brakes because you might tip over. So we'll probably be out, I'd imagine, you know, middle bleeding in. Kind of get it slow enough here, hug it tight, and then a nice smooth rolling down to the biggest feature on the track. No, second biggest feature. But this is on the back section, so this will be a little bit harder to see and line up for. This track looks nice and wide from back here, but I guarantee on that driver's stand this is going to look pretty narrow. But I think they said something 25 foot jump right here. With Bobby again killing it with a nice lander there. Into the Race Time Entertainment staging corner. All flat here, so just keeping on the throttle, keep the speed going. Got a little kicker, full throttle, landing out here somewhere. Nothing too difficult there. And you got this little uphill. We're gonna unload your tires here before you come back down. I'm sure some people are gonna push out and hit these pipes here. It's gonna be getting enough angle coming up this to come down the downside of it. Not too difficult. Definitely gonna be a pretty fast layout. Be interesting to see if it blows out or stays pretty smooth. Last couple of years it stayed kind of smooth, but we'll see. This year only being 3 days, they're not gonna get as much water time. It's gonna be a lot more running. And here's the other big jump we got. I think both are about the same. This one, I think they said 29 foot. And looks like a good backflip jump from an E-Truggy. Gonna have some fun with that. So, should be an easy double though. Nice long downside. And holding tight for the left. Lining up, hitting this about in the middle. To get on the inside for this right-hander here. Just a little easy tabletop, don't overshoot too much. Downside, tight right. And there you go. So that is a lap with Ryan Lutz at the Psycho Nitro Blast 2019. Let me go up on the driver's stand really quick and get you a full track view. Here we go. Exercise for the night. All right, so here we go. If we're on the right side of the stand, this is where I often stand, all the way to the right. But those mogul section, that's gonna be tough from up here. Hard to really pick out where they're actually at. You know, you see that little bit of that white peak, that's gonna wear off. So, but pretty immense track. I'm guessing 40, 45 second lap times. I love this track. Facility's pretty awesome, huge. And we'll check it out from the other end before we say our goodbyes. See the different view, what it looks like. All right, this will definitely give you a little bit better angle at these. Does this make anything difficult? Makes the downside of that completely blind. So that could keep people from being over here. So that'll be interesting to see where people choose. I like to go on the side that no one else likes normally. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. It's still blind, still blind, still blind. I mean, it's just a blind landing for the most part regardless. But there you go, you can start to see it there. Yeah, the right side might actually be good. We'll see. So tune in to liverc.com, Psycho Nitro Blast, Psycho Nitro Blast Facebook page. Keep up with my Ryan Lutz Facebook page. We'll be posting updates as we can. 24 hours of practice starting at 6 a.m. And we're going to get ready. Take care, guys. Thanks for watching.